She's not actually from Bondi. She's from out of Burke. I am a doctor and I do at a health clinic out there every couple of weeks.
GP Catherine Hutt has arrived at the Bondi clinic with a very unusual patient.
I heard about this premature lamb that was going to get tapped on the head. I know, and apparently she was just very small and had been born in the stockyards and wasn't likely to live. So of course, once I'd heard about her, my very tolerant team stopped off on our way home from the clinic and picked her up, and here she is. Don't know how many flying sheep there are, but she actually did very well.
But after 2 weeks in the city, Amelia is struggling.
Poodle cross, is it?
Really nice try.
Hello, you're cute, aren't you? Where do you pick up the lamb nappies? I've never actually seen the nappies with a hole in the back for the tail.
Well, they're custom made, aren't they? We custom make them every morning.
Aisle 3 at your local supermarket?
That's right.
And the diarrhoea she's had, you don't really want to see this. The technical name for that is scouring. Scours is essentially another word for severe diarrhoea, but it's diarrhoea with a nasty effect. It dehydrates them, it takes away their electrolytes, and it means they're not absorbing energy. And scours, it's probably the #1 cause of mortality, of death in young lambs and in calves.
All right, well, we need to fix it.
Yeah, we do.
Ooh, she's ugly. Abscess here, just beside the bottom.
Feel better after, Amelia, okay? It's just to help you.
Now, just like a human baby, the smaller they are, the more fragile they are. She's been born premature and then missed out on her mum's milk. All those important antibodies have just bypassed her. She's never had them. So she's very alone in this world. I'm going to give her a chalky liquid.
Okay.
Just to try and calm down her gut and settle it so she's not producing all that diarrhoea. Oh.
Not loving it.
Chris gives Amelia a vaccination and antibiotics, but he's worried it's only a temporary solution.
Good girl.
Samples will be sent to the lab to try and pinpoint what bacteria is causing Amelia's serious infections.
As a doctor, Catherine's done a pretty good job getting Amelia to this point, getting through those tough first few days. But then when you see just how severe those scours are and how severe those abscesses are, you can see that she does need help. They both need help.
Well, being a doctor, you do see some incredibly tough things, but and you'd think you'd be a bit immune to it and it wouldn't get to you, but she's just got to me. I just love her, and she's just the most special little thing. So I am a bit worried now.
Any other cats at home?
One female.
And you recently lost his litter mate, was that?
Yeah.
Coco, a rescue cat, has just been admitted to the Bondi Referral Hospital, Sash.
Hey, Coco. Take a look at you.
Deirdre saved him from death row at a shelter 6 months ago.
I take him for walks on the lead and everybody stops and wants to pat him, and he's always making friends with kids. Yeah, they love him.
Lisa suspects anemia and takes a sample to check Coco's red blood cell count.
Oh, the blood looks very watery.
I'm just really worried that it's going to end up badly. Yes.
For Deirdre, this situation is made so much worse because one of her other cats died suddenly only a few months ago.
I don't think I could handle another one dying on me.
Oh dear. It's 8%. 8% is extremely low. I mean, I would expect it in a cat to be in the 30s, and he's got a red count of 8%. So that is not sustainable with life. He needs to have a transfusion tonight.
Until I know that everything's going to be all right, yeah, and it's nothing underlying, I'll worry.
On here, use the pipette. 3 drops of sample into a new tube.
Coco is suffering from severe anemia, but Lisa has decided to carry out more tests.
Before I give Coco a blood transfusion, I need to rule out 2 other possible culprits. Now, one of them is feline AIDS, and the other one is feline leukemia virus, which is quite rare. Now, both of these diseases can be fatal, so for Deidre's sake, I really hope the results come back negative. So it's a 10-minute wait now. It's going to feel like a lifetime. I'm pretty worried. It's positive. So beautiful Coco has cat leukemia, and I almost can't believe it. It is so rare, and there is no treatment.
Sadly, Coco's owner Deirdre was never told there is a vaccination available for cat leukemia. The irony is that Coco still looks so well.
I haven't got good news for you, beautiful boy, with your beautiful blue eyes. Coco's 1.5 years old. He's a baby. Deidre's just lost her other cat 6 months ago from perhaps the same thing. It just breaks my heart. It always happens to the special ones. Deidre, I've got some news for you that's not so good. It's an extremely rare disease in Australia, and unfortunately, Coco's positive to that. Okay. All right, well, I'll talk to you tomorrow then. Okay, take care, bye. She said to me, I can't believe I've got the prospect of losing 3 cats in 7 months. Her other cat at home is not vaccinated for this, and it's pretty highly contagious. So she's going to bring her in tomorrow for us to do a test on her, and we'll see. She's just in shock. Good boy. You are. You're like a puppy dog.
Amelia's test results are back, and her infection's been caused by a bacteria called Pseudomonas. Now, they only get this infection when their immune system's given up the fight, and that's because she never got her mother's milk. She never got those antibodies that were going to protect her for the rest of her life. The fact is, if we don't boost up her immune system, then a nastier bug, a deadly bug, is going to come along and take her out. Sure, we can give her antibiotics now to fix this problem, but long term, we need a permanent solution. And I reckon I've got an idea.
Chris is now on the road to the Golden Ridge Animal Farm to carry out his plan.
We're going to find an adult sheep and actually take some blood from her and take all those antibodies with it and transfer those antibodies from the blood into little Amelia. It works in foals, it works in calves, and I'll bet you it'll work in lambs as well. Now, where are our sheep?
They're up this way, so we'll go for a walk up here and we'll have a look.
Elisa, who looks after the mixed bunch of residents here, is hoping to find Chris a suitable blood donor.
So I guess we need sort of an older one.
Yeah.
Preferably a mother that might even have some antibodies of her own.
Yeah, I've got a couple there with lambs at the moment, so
Right.
we should be able to find one.
Perfect. You all want to help, do you?
She's got lambs at the moment.
Yeah, great. This is very kind of you, you know that? She's very good.
Yeah.
This might just look like some sheep's blood, but it means so much more to Amelia. It's full of antibodies which are going to go into Amelia's system and essentially give her a future. And thank you. Oh, Mum. It's hard on you, isn't it? What's her name?
Barbie.
Barbie. Good old Barbie stepped up, did her bit, and she's the hero. She'll make all the difference. I've got Barbie's blood safely stored in the back in an esky, but it looks like we've got to make a bit of a detour. The Australian Reptile Parks is called, they've got a critically ill animal It sounds like it needs urgent attention.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Tim will be happy to see you. Come straight through.
He's got a platypus.
He does. It was found this morning. It's unbelievable.
Really?
Hi, mate.
Tim, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, good, thank you.
You never cease to surprise me.
Nah, check this out.
The malnourished platypus was found wandering lost on a suburban road.
He's lucky they didn't run him over thinking he was a rat, you know. Good people. We get some lovely people that bring all sorts of animals in, so this guy's benefited from it.
Have you got a name for him?
Oh, look, well, between a few of us, we wanted to call him Aussie because he's a little battler at the moment.
My guess is that he's a young male, he's been kicked out by a territorial male, and he's just trudged through the bush. He's picked up all these ticks, and he turns up in suburbia.
There's 20, 30 right there.
My worry is that he's got 40 or so ticks in that container. He's probably got another at least 40 on him there.
Yeah.
If each of those has, say, half a mil of blood, even a quarter of a mil, that's 10 mils of blood.
Yeah.
He's got to be severely anaemic as it is. Yeah. Underweight, dehydrated, he's got a lot of things going against him. What I might do, just to, I guess, as a bit of insurance against him going into shock himself and not really handling this whole experience, actually give him some fluids now. That should help his blood pressure straight away. Has he tried to use his spurs yet?
No, I mean, I don't know. They're still there.
Yeah.
And they're quite large still for a young plat, but...
Jeez, they are decent, aren't they? As the minutes tick by, he's becoming more and more stressed by the whole situation, so we've got to get the ticks off quickly, but pay a lot of attention to that spur.
I and most of the guys here would rather cop a whack from a King Brown than one of these, you know. The pain is just said to be unbelievable.
Yeah. It's amazing. Everyone just assumes they're just so cute and cuddly.
Yeah.
And they're cute, but they've got a pretty nasty little surprise waiting for you, don't they?
Chris continues the painstaking job of removing all the ticks from Aussie.
It's only when you really part the fur you realise just how many there are. It's like having open wounds all over his body. The fact is, he can quite easily die from these ticks because each one of them is taking just a little bit of blood, and that could be enough to kill him.
Don't get out, there's a big puppy dog around there. Here, see? She's not as forthcoming as Coco.
Deirdre has brought in Coco's sister. She's desperately hoping Chantal has been lucky and not caught the deadly leukemia virus from her brother.
I'm not gonna, get really, really worried until I find out there's something wrong with her. That'll be it. I don't think I'll be able to have more pets. Yeah, I think that'll be it. That'll do it. I like your children.
I'm going to take Chantal
Yep.
out the back, get some blood from her. Good girl, Chantal. I think there's quite a high chance that Chantal's going to be positive for feline leukemia virus just because she's in such close contact with Coco, who's got the disease. There's still a chance that she hasn't, so that's what I'm hoping for. Should be enough.
In 10 minutes, Deirdre will know Chantal's future.
We wait.
Oh, jeez. It's important to realise that these aren't paralysis ticks. There is more than one type of tick, and these are actually called bush ticks. So what they do is they just suck blood. On a small animal, finding 1 or 2 ticks is a concern. Finding 100 is extraordinary and extraordinarily worrying too.
After a thorough examination of Aussie, Chris is satisfied he's removed all the ticks from the orphaned platypus. A preventative spray should now stop any other ticks ravaging his fragile system.
Listen to that. They don't very often make a noise.
No. That's almost the emergency beacon for them. They make that sound when they're really stressed. His natural environment is water. He's going to eat when he's in water, so the sooner we can get him there and get him relaxing, the better.
All right, now he doesn't look real good there, so I want to get him in nice and quick. Good. I'm just going to ease him down a bit. Off you go, mate. Let him see where he is. We'll just keep him isolated for the moment, give him his own little tank and let him try and recuperate until he gets healthy. Looks good.
He's hungry, isn't he?
Yeah, actually eating mealworms. Look at that.
A little sonar of his is still working then.
Look, there we go, another one. That's a good food response. I mean, that's immediate. It's not over by a long way. You know, for him to be like that in my hands, then touch the water, it doesn't mean we're in the clear, you know. That's sort of his last-ditched attempt to get some nutrition in, you know, but we've got a long way to go. You know, a lot of it's up to him. All we can provide is food, shelter, water. You know, we can put all the elements there. He's got to have a good will to live.
I just hate waiting for this. Another minute to go. So far it is negative, so it's just great. It's negative. I am just so happy and relieved. I mean, I was trying to stay positive, but the odds of Chantel getting feline leukemia as well were so high. And now finally I can give Deirdre some good news. I'm so excited. I'm just going to go tell her right now.
You're smiling.
I'm smiling.
Oh, that's good.
It's negative.
Very good.
So, it's good.
That's good news. So now what do we do with Coco?
Coco is still infectious, so if Deirdre wants to take him home, he will have to be quarantined away from Chantel.
I don't know what the right thing for you to do is, whether you should take him home or whether you should leave him here. Medically, it's safer for him to be here, but emotionally, it's better for him to be at home.
Yeah, maybe like if it's only for a couple of days. Yeah.
Okay.
Spend a few days with him.
I think that's lovely.
Yeah. It's just going to be hard keeping them separate. Yeah.
But I guess something you've got to do if you want to have Chantel around.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
Maybe you just enjoy him and call me if you have any problems at all.
Oh, I will.
Okay. Thank you. I don't think this was a tough decision for Deirdre. I think she knew straight away that all she wanted was to have Coco home.
Oh, baby.
Bye, gorgeous boy. Even if it's only for a limited time.
I'll take him home and give him cuddles and love him.
So now Barbie's blood's actually settled. You can see what I'm after. It's this clear golden fluid that's sitting on the top. That is full of proteins and full of antibodies. It's called plasma, and that's what needs to go from here into little Amelia.
Catherine rescued the orphaned Amelia from outback New South Wales, but the tiny lamb is now under siege from life-threatening infections.
Doesn't sound like Amelia. Oh, hello, Amelia, you've grown.
Hi, Chris, how are you? Come in.
Good to see you. Hey, Amelia. Okay, we are in. I'll give this over the course of about 5 or 10 minutes, just to minimise any risk of this really protein-rich, antibody-rich fluid overwhelming your system and really sending you into a bit of a shock state.
Well, I think it's a pretty amazing idea. If it works, fantastic. Anything that's going to help her. She's not quite 3 weeks old yet, so there's still a way to go before I'm confident that she's going to be all right on her own.
Amelia, we're done.
So how are we going to know if it works?
It's almost a case of no news is good news. I mean, if she doesn't get any infections, then you know it's working.
And here he is, our little Aussie battler. He's beaten all the odds. He had 80 blood-sucking ticks on him. He was on the road and avoided getting hit by a car. He walked all that way through the bush, and I tell you, if this bloke was human, he'd be selling his story to a magazine.
Aussie, the great survivor, has made a full recovery and is adapting well to his new home at the Australian Reptile Park.
Now, as for his future, in captivity, he's going to become very dependent upon us. So he might finish his days in a breeding program as an ambassador for his species.
Go in a hurry, aren't you?
With the transfusion administered, Catherine's now trying to negotiate as much time as she can with Amelia.
The plan now is to continue feeding her the milk, but her focus really has to shift from milk to grass at some stage.
Now, you're supposed to be eating grass.
I think she prefers carpet.
I think we're probably looking at about 6 weeks from now that we can start to think about moving her away onto a farm.
I don't know who's going to be worse off, her or me, because I don't know how I'm going to cope.
Catherine might say 6 years, but 6 weeks is probably going to be about right.
I think we can stretch that a little. To grass.
Hi, I'm Dr Danny Dusek from Bondi Vet. If you love our show and want to see more, plus some amazing content about pets and how to care for them, hit the subscribe button. Click that little notification bell and we'll see you on our next video.